Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Movie Backlot Podcast. As always, my name is Steven. That right there is Dylan, and that right there is Alexander. This is the Movie Backlot Podcast. We get together every week to discuss movies when it comes to news, box office numbers, Blu-rays, pretty much anything that happened in the world of movies. We get together to discuss it. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing good.
All right.
Sweet. All right. So I have a couple of news stories. I didn't even tell you guys what they were before we started. I got some. We figured we could talk about the DC news, some X-Men news, the whole Edge of Tomorrow, Kingsman, Charlize Theron joining a franchise that we
some movie
that people like, and a couple other things there. So we'll kind of go through the day with that. But before we get into that, we're gonna go over the box office numbers. And holy jinkies! Batman. Oh man, Batman. Number one this week is The Boss. Made $23.4 million, which is to be expected. It made it on a budget of 29, so this thing is probably, if we count foreign markets, it's already made its money back, at least close to it. None of us went to watch this. I mean, we all say Melissa McCarthy's one of those actresses that we love her sometimes, hate her others, and this was one
very
of the
very hit and miss.
Yeah, it's basically like when she's working with Paul Feig. Sure, I'm in, and I'll go sit opening weekend. If she's doing dramatic work,
or she does dramatic work, it's like, yeah, we can check.
If
that
she's
out.
working with her husband, run.
Even when working with Paul Feig, she seems to have a sketchy track record.
She did
I did not like Bridesmaids or The Heat.
See, I love Bridesmaids. I didn't
Was
like.
she nominated for an Oscar for Bridesmaids?
She was.
Yes, and you ask why was she
Yeah,
nominated?
okay. I didn't know that. Now that's.
I thought she was really good in Bridesmaids.
She was okay. I mean, she was fine. I liked Bridesmaids, but she wasn't
fine,
the best
but
part to me.
To be nominated for Best Supporting Actress? No, she wasn't that good.
Yeah.
I would have to look at the field.
Well, nonetheless,
I wouldn't think that role would be
I
that
thought her
good.
husband did Identity Thief. I was wrong because I walked Identity Thief.
No,
was one of the
guy-
last movies that I walked out of.
Yeah, Identity Thief was done by the guy who did Horrible Bosses, Seth Gordon.
Yes, and luckily he's off of my Uncharted fucking movie that's coming. Hopefully,
That movie's not happening.
Never. Yeah. So
Yes, because you're the one who's producing it.
it's not. Trust me. There's like so much
They've
problem.
been trying to make it since 2008.
Well, have you played the games? I don't think I've mentioned this before. Have you?
I've played 2.5 of them. I'm
think
gonna finish 3 this month, and I have 4 pre-orders.
I think Sony should just stop. Like, let the movie die. It's just let it go. Like, there's
Games
movies.
are great.
It's like the Crow thing with whoever the hell's making that. Let it go. It's over. Just walk away.
Let it go.
Seriously, they have to play that in the background. But nonetheless, it made $23 million, $29 million budget. People like Melissa McCarthy. She's always going to bank. She's kind of like Kevin Hart. She makes stuff. People watch. She has a following. This movie's bad from what I've heard. I mean, I don't know what the percentages are on Rotten Tomatoes, but you guys mentioned it was pretty low.
It's at 18.
There you go. Pretty bad. But the biggest surprise of the week is the fact that people were predicting this throughout the week. But Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice fell from grace to number
Dawn of my ass.
Dawn of oh damn, you caught me, you messed me up. It made $23.4 million, and there's been this whole thing: is it a flop? Did it lose? Like, is it, all these things coming out? Because then people are calling a Ultron a flop, and then that falls into a weird category.
Weren't calling it
not
a flop,
but
or at least not the credible people. Credible people were calling it a disappointment, which it was compared to how well Avengers did. It was still a massive success for the studio.
Made $1 billion.
This is a massive disappointment for Warner Brothers.
Because from what all the articles I've read today were saying that at the pace it's going, if it hits about 900 million, then it's going to make $15 million of actual money.
Yeah, sounds
which is
right.
going to be only a few more than what Man of Steel made or something like that.
Well, it's already surpassed what Man of Steel made worldwide, but
Yeah,
even
but it cost so much more to make with the marketing and everything. And there were some
They
figures.
needed
I think
800 million
Forbes
to break even.
Yeah, Forbes said 800 to break even, 900 to make it have 15 more million than Man of Steel on profit. But for it to be considered a mild success, it had to hit 1.2
just
billion.
1 billion.
No, it was above 1 billion. It was like 1 point something. Maybe it was low.
1 billion was the was the benchmark that they were aiming for, to be like, oh, this movie did decent.
I think they were saying for it to be in the middle of the road of the Marvel movies, it would have to be like almost 1.2 million, something like that. So it sucks because
you could kiss that goodbye, DC.
I mean, unless this thing, I mean, foreign markets are really loving it. But the problem,
not really. No, it didn't do well in China.
Oh,
which,
really?
if you don't do well in China, then
what did it make in China?
You're kind of fucked.
I didn't see that. I mean, it's made like 500 million.
60 million.
It's made like 500, right, in foreign markets?
Yeah, it's at 486 million worldwide, and it'll probably pass 500 million next week. It might get 900 million, maybe.
On my Twitter and my Facebook, people are constantly, because I'm like, like, fuck me for not liking the movie. So people are constantly putting up these things about, still a disappointment whenever it crosses a threshold. And I find it funny that people are coming, like, trashing anybody that didn't like the movie. And then, I mean, it goes both ways, because the people that like the movie, they trash people that didn't like it, and people that liked it, whatever, vice versa.
Seriously?
Yeah, there's people that like the movie that trash those that didn't, and then those that didn't that trash those that do.
There's crazy people on the internet.
Whatever.
But that's not surprising.
But my thing is,
those people's opinions mean absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it's just Twitter hate, whatever. But my thing is like, damn, if I was gonna say, the movie. Oh yeah, people keep saying that. No, but the movie's not good. I don't like it. But the problem is people keep saying, "Oh, well, it's the second Marvel movie made such and such," and I'm like, you guys don't understand. Superman and Batman are the two biggest comic book heroes of anything. Close third or maybe second above Superman is Spider-Man. That's why when the Amazing Spider-Man movies made what they made, people were like, flop. That's bad. Like, these are the biggest characters. Like, these movies, you put those names, like, you put those two names on anything, they should bank anything. They should bank so much money. This is $1 billion movie. Well, like, I watch wrestling, and one thing that a wrestler once said that once he got fired from WWE was, Vince McMahon is a millionaire who should be a billionaire. Batman v Superman is
makes sense.
Is going to be a maybe $1 billion movie that should be a $2 billion movie. That's the difference. Like, this movie should make so much money, and the fact that people are happy that it made this much, it's not good. Sure, we're still going to get Justice League by Zack Snyder, and the same thing's going to happen unless whatever miracle happens that they decide to rewrite. But it sucks because, I mean, we've already talked enough about this last week or 2 weeks ago, but it just sucks. Like, it just sucks. It sucks so bad that I want this movie to be so good, and
I know, I did too.
It's going to struggle to make $1 billion. That's the problem. It shouldn't struggle.
It's not making.
It shouldn't struggle.
I don't think it's making it. It's
not
making it.
And
also,
it's going to make it. Go ahead.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it'll struggle.
No, it's not.
You don't think so? I mean, 300 million to get there?
No. Plus, we got the Jungle Book coming out. We have Huntsman coming out. And then once Captain America Civil War comes out, that's going to be the beginning of blockbuster season. So it's going to get buried by that time, huh?
But that's already that's like 4 weeks. That's like 3 weeks away, right? 3 weeks? 2.5?
Well, Jungle Book's this weekend.
Okay, so it's going to fall to third next week.
And then Huntsman is next weekend.
So then fourth and fifth. It'll be fifth by the time Civil War comes out.
It might fall to 4 next week.
You think so? Out of the 5? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell.
Yeah.
We'll
also,
talk about what's coming out next week, but I don't know what else besides. I mean, I know what movie's coming out next week that might be in there too. What were you gonna say?
Well, and also, those rumors about Warner Brothers releasing the extended version.
Is that true?
I doubt it. I think if they do, it would be a stupid decision because okay, let's take some examples first of all. Like the reason they would do it is so it could cross the $1 billion mark.
They'll make a lot. They'll make a lot more money though. I think enough people will go watch it. It'll make. I think $80 million. It'll jump up to 80 million if they release a 3-hour cut. Do you think people are gonna watch it that weekend?
Here's why I don't think that's gonna happen, because when Warner Brothers re-released The Dark Knight, they released it in January, a pretty dead season, but they did it so it could pass the $1 billion mark and so people could see it to consider Heath Ledger for an Oscar. Warner Brothers did the same thing with Gravity, where they released it in a dead season to.
But those aren't, movies.
Well,
like
even
this.
though Well, Dark Knight?
Well, I mean, the fact that they're like, oh, this movie should have been over 3 hours, and they made them cut it to 2.5. All this other weird news stories that you hear.
Well, here's where I'm getting at. Those movies were re-released in dead seasons. Batman v Superman is supposed to come out on Blu-ray in July. Why in the hell would you re-release a movie that people hate in the busiest season of the year?
The only way it makes sense is maybe September, honestly. Like, everything going forward is just...
But even then, it'll be like, you know what? I have this at home. I could watch this.
By September,
like, even if you like it, you're like...
Yeah, by September, it'll be on DVD or Blu-ray.
What they should do is do the same thing that the Hobbit did for their extended releases.
That didn't make any money,
is just have a fathom. Yeah, well, they're gonna do this for the hardcore fans. If you ask 10 random people, I'm sure like 9 out of 10 the general audience does not want to see a 3.5-hour version of this.
Hell no.
So just have it be a Fathom event for the hardcore fans. Have it be a one-night event. They'll sell all those out just like they do for those Dragon Ball Z premieres. They're all like 1 or 2 night events only. Have it be that we can all go see it. 1 week later, it comes out on Blu-ray.
See, there's Dylan. Just do it. Just do it. What were you gonna say, Alexander?
Well, here's a question that has been lingering on my mind. If the one criticism that even if people who like the movie can agree with the people who didn't like it is that the movie is way too long, would 3 hours help the movie?
That wasn't my problem. I don't care. I don't care if this movie was 3.5 hours. To me, just make fucking sense. And the deleted scene that was cut out shows that the fact that we talked about it, that they took that scene out and it made sense to what was in the movie and would have helped me along as to why Jesse Eisenberg's character is a fucking nut job. I'm like, oh, that would have helped. So if there's like 30 minutes of scenes that'll just help the movie out for me, sure, it's not going to be anywhere near most of the Marvel movies, but can fall for me up in the middle of Marvel movies? Maybe. I know it'll be 3 hours, but
even then,
you said the Watchmen cut is way better than the theatrical one, and that was like half an hour cut out of that too. Maybe that's the problem with Zack Snyder. He doesn't know how to fucking he cuts the wrong shit out.
But here's the difference. Watchmen is like a source material that's so well recognized that they teach it in college classes.
Yeah,
so you kind of have to be faithful to it to a degree. Batman v Superman, there's no reason why it should have been 2.5 hours.
Yes, there is.
There's no reason any of the DC movies.
There is reason. He was trying to tell 10 stories. So since you're trying to tell that many, since you want to tell 10 stories and you're not making 2 movies, then you gotta make that shit like 4 hours long. Like,
honestly,
cut shit.
A large majority.
Yes, I agree. Cut shit.
They did, and then people got annoyed because he needs to cut really badly.
He needed to cut a lot of shit. That's the problem.
But even
it seems that like a lot of people that complain about the movie, which if you don't like the movie, that's fine. Like I can definitely see why you wouldn't. I personally like.
I don't care.
I think the movie's really good, but if you don't like it, that's cool. But it seems like a lot of the people are like, oh, I had these issues with the plot. I'm like, oh, well, they explain like 3/4 of those.
Nah, to me.
But even then,
and it's just like, but there's so much information thrown at you. It's kind of like when you're in class and like your teacher lectures for an hour and a half, and you retained like
this is the problem.
40% of that.
But this is the thing. You want to know the difference is?
Which is bad storytelling.
This is the difference, though.
And you guys still think?
What were you gonna say?
And you guys still think that? And with all that being said, you guys still think a longer movie would help?
Well, Dylan, you bring up
because there'll be more context to what's going on, and there would be more room for things.
But there's
to breathe.
But you just said there's. But you just said there's so much going on that you can't process it all, and that way you'll get even more frustrated. I was able to process
most of it when I watched it the first time.
Not me. Like, I mean, I'm a DC. I'm a DC guy. But I'll say one last thing, and then we can move on because we're going back into this rabbit hole that we fell in a couple weeks ago. Okay, you said this is like in school when they're throwing so much information, and it is. But like if in school they try to tackle every war in a span of like one class. It's like, we're just going to throw everything at you. And we're going to miss key names, and we're going to miss key parts, and you're going to confuse World War I with World War II and the Spanish War. You're going to confuse them all. Just trust me. I knew every Easter egg they were throwing at me, and I'm tired of people saying that I didn't. I knew every Easter egg they were throwing at me. The problem is, Easter eggs don't make a good movie. Just because you introduce the Flashpoint paradox and you introduce the infinite Earth's crisis, all this stuff, that doesn't. No, you're just introducing shit for the sake of it. And even Angry Joe, who is probably the biggest Superman fan besides Greg Miller that I know on YouTube, almost everything on his Twitter after seeing the movie has become to hate.
Yeah, and also
I think it's also
which brings me to
community.
another thing. Like say the 3-hour cut is better than the theatrical one, which I'm still in doubt. Would that fix Jesse Eisenberg's performance? Would that fix how poorly portrayed Superman is?
I don't know. Nah.
Would that fix any?
But,
of the-
but it'll give you more
me
cool
in the
Batman.
run, so that's fine with me.
It'll give you more cool Batman scenes.
Which still emphasizes the problem with DC. They need to get off the Batman train.
Did you guys ever see the picture
to...
of There was like a thing that said how DC's gonna make money, and then it just had like Batman versus Superman, Batman versus Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
Batman
I saw that.
I thought that was funny. All right, let's move on because this is a rabbit hole that we're gonna fall into.
Yeah.
I'll rapid fire.
Thing.
Oh, what happened? Okay.
It isn't, but you mentioned a funny picture, and it's about this we're on topic. I saw a person. This is from someone who loved the movie. But one person on Twitter after the Civil War reactions came out said, "Thank God Zack Snyder wasn't in charge of Spider-Man reboot," and it's a picture of a dead Uncle Ben from the first Spider-Man film, and then the text says, "Peter killed them all."
Oh, like he's referencing. I mean, I put up the Care Bears thing. I thought it was hilarious. I don't know who the fuck made the Care Bears thing, but like, Zack Snyder is the new Michael Bay. All right. Number 3 is Zootopia, made $14 million. Its total gross is $296. There's this cool documentary on YouTube that I want to see. It's called Imagining Zootopia or something. It's like 46 minutes long, and it's like the making of Zootopia. I don't know if you guys heard of it, but I saw somebody shared it. My Big Fat Greek Wedding made $6.4 million, and coming in at number 5 is Hardcore Henry, which made something million, 1 million.
Which I mean, it's number 5, but I would imagine this didn't cost very much.
Yeah, it didn't make a lot of money. I doubt it cost anything. Its per screen average is $1,600. Not great, honestly. But again, for this kind of movie, I mean, it probably cost $5 million to make. I mean, I would say that, right? Maybe.
Yeah, because again, when it comes to a movie, like either being a hit or being a flop, it depends on the budget. It doesn't necessarily depend on which space it lands. I mean, which space it lands will help because that'll mean it'll carry momentum. But again, like say a movie opens up at number 5 but costs $1 million to make. Hit right there.
They did try to promote this through the YouTube channels pretty well. Like I saw Chartlo Copley and a couple YouTubers things, and I was like, oh, interesting. The problem is that a first-person kind of movie like this, I don't know if its audience is that big, honestly. Because I love video games and I love movies. I don't want to see this for the reason I said before the podcast. I didn't want to get a headache. Because it is...
I don't think you will.
You don't think so? I don't know. I just like sometimes some things like this give me headaches and stuff. So.
Oh, here's a question. I mean, I haven't seen the movie, but from what I've heard from people, it seems like it really is like playing Grand Theft Auto 5 in first person.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
And if you get like disoriented, if you roll around on the ground, then that could be a problem.
I don't know. I will check it out when it comes out. This seems like the perfect movie to VR is a big thing now for video games. It seems like the perfect avenue for VR. So maybe if I ever get one of those, or they should, I don't know. Maybe it could have been cool in like the 4D movies or those theaters that have like the moving chairs. D-box. Yeah, those things. That would have been probably cool.
Corey Goodwin and Martin Thomas from Double Toasted actually said that they saw it in D-Box, and it helps.
I mean, at least it'll be, it'll be fun. I mean, I'm sure this movie's insanely fun, just insanity. And I heard it's actually not just dumb action. I heard it's actually smarter than it looks. So
yeah, there's actually a plot to it that for like the first half of the movie, I was like, what the hell's even going on? Like, and then it explains in the last like 20 minutes what happens.
Yeah, from what I heard, it's not just like. It's a lot of blowing shit up, but there is a decently.
There actually is a story to it, and it's like, I saw. Okay, that's actually pretty clever. The stunt work though in this movie is fantastic. And I would say there's about in total of 35 minutes of this movie that blew me away, and then like 30 minutes of where I was pretty bored, and then 30 minutes where I'm like, oh, this is fun. So I walked out like, oh, it was fine.
All right then.
Right.
So
the last 15 minutes is fantastic.
all right.
The climax scene.
Like I said, maybe I'll see it. But let's talk about what's coming out this week because I am pumped, ecstatically. I am hardcore looking forward to the Jungle Book, which comes out this week, and I'm super excited about that. We also have Criminal, which I have a screening for. I think on Tuesday. I'm not very excited about that, to be honest with me. It looks like I don't know. It looks like not good to me. And then Barbershop, the next cut comes out as well as a movie called Green Room, which I feel like
I saw that.
this trailer. This trailer is about the kids. Is this one about the kids that they're at a concert and then
it's about
something?
a punk group, and it was actually shot in Portland, Oregon. Okay. It was like all shot and it was all made here, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I want to see
And
this.
there was a screening this past week on campus. It's about a punk group that walks into like a murder that just happened, and they get trapped in this green room, and then the like manager of the place like doesn't want any witnesses of what happened, so he like sets like he hires these hitmen to go kill them, and it's about them trying to escape.
Yeah, it's like
the
Strangers.
Concert venue.
It's like the Strangers, where it's like in that one house or one place mostly for most of it, right? That's what it seems like.
It's from the same director and writer as a Blue Ruin. If you saw that, it's on Netflix.
I mean, I want to see
it's a really good
movie.
movie.
I like Anton Yelchin, and then you have the girl from That Awkward Moment is also in it. So that's the reason that caught my eye.
It's good. It's very violent.
Looks it.
Like there were multiple times I was like, oh God.
So Alexander,
Jesus.
of these movies, I mean, obviously the Jungle Book, but is there something specific about the Jungle Book or any of the other movies on here that has you excited about watching them?
Only that's the more popular one coming out, because honestly, I'm a little skeptical. I mean, I've heard good things about it, so I'll go into it with an open mind, but I have not really liked Disney's reimaginings of their old animated stuff. Yeah. And plus, the Jungle Book itself is not one of Disney's finest. Like, it has some good moments and good characters, but really, it's not as memorable as something like Aladdin or historically important as Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was.
How mad are you that the Aladdin movie we're getting is called Genies? Ugh, so upsetting.
I'm very mad, but on the flip side, if there's anything to turn it around, outside the fact that it's getting better reviews than any of the other movies that have come out,
yeah, 100%.
It's Jon Favreau who's doing this. So, yes. And to me, Jon Favreau, with the exception of Cowboys and Aliens, has had a pretty damn good track record when it comes to directing, like Elf, Iron Man, Chef.
Yeah, I mean, people would put Iron Man 2 as a thing, but I don't think that was his fault. I think that was he had to include a lot of
that's
stuff.
Why, as much as I like Iron Man 2, that's why I didn't list it.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, he put a bunch of he was forced to. But see, for me, I wasn't excited about the Jungle Book. All the Comic-Con stuff and all the footage people were saying that they saw and how realistic it looked. I was like, it looked like Avatar to me. I mean, and I like Avatar a lot. Or I like Avatar. I like it a lot. But this one, I just like, I don't know if I want to see that kind of movie. But all I'm hearing is that this has a great story. It tells like the Jungle Book story well. It's got a lot of heart. And I saw a TV spot yesterday or the day before, which showed like an actual interesting perspective. That I didn't know that they were going with the angle that Mowgli was raised by wolves, and that's who the wolves. Like I constantly see wolves there. And there's a scene with Idris Elba. He plays Shere Khan on it.
Shere Khan.
And all the animals are like surrounding him in one scene, and he's like, "How many of you are prepared to die?" or something. And I was like, "Oh man, this is intimidating. He's about to murder some people." So I'm excited because of the fact that
even though they're all animals.
Yeah, but he's about to murder some voice acting people. So I'm excited because of the fact that honestly, the reviews. I'm gonna be straight up with you guys because it was a movie that I would have seen, but I wasn't excited to see. I was like, oh, okay, it's a Jungle Book, it's Jon Favreau, I'll watch it. But now the fact that it's got so much great reviews, so much good word of mouth right now that I'm actually excited to see this because now I think that it's more than what the Jungle Book cartoon animated movie is because I don't like that movie that much. I think it's okay, but I'm with Alexander. Nowhere near the top of any of their best Disney animated movies for me. It's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
So how about you, Dylan? Anything besides Jungle Book or any of the other ones?
Well, I've already seen Green Room, and that was really good. If you like small indie action movies, it's up there.
Is it like your next with the gore and the graphic? Did you see your next?
I haven't seen your next, but I've seen the guest from the same director, and it's similar. But there's legit. It's very gory. It easily earns its R rating. I'll say that.
Cool.
As for the Jungle Book, I've been excited for this ever since I saw Cinderella, which I thought was a great movie, and I feel more people should see it. It's really
I like
good.
it a lot. It's the best one that they've done so far.
Yeah.
And
so I bet so that movie and I was all right with Maleficent. So those two were like, oh, okay, I'll trust these live action retellings. And then just from the D23 footage and the cast and the director, I've been really excited for this. And then the reviews have been coming out and they've all been glowing. Almost all the YouTube critics I've seen that I've seen the movie. I've raved about it.
So you were even hyped really when everybody was saying the D23 footage was amazing. You were automatically on board. See, I wasn't.
Back then, I was like, okay, I'm in.
So
Jon Favreau.
how about with the other two? Barbershop or Criminal? Either of you guys excited about any of those?
I haven't seen the first Barbershop, although I think that one is the one that might be able to.
This is the third one.
BVS, because it might be able. Oh, is it the third one?
Yeah, it's the third one.
Oh, well, never mind. I haven't seen the first.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the third one. I think I'm right.
It doesn't change my statement because I still haven't seen the first one, I guess.
How about you, Alexander? Criminal, Barbershop? Does Criminal do anything? I mean, the cast is Gary Oldman, Kevin Costner, Ryan Gosling, Gal Gadot.
They will make $8 million.
Oh no, Tommy Lee Jones. I mean, it's a pretty big cast.
Well, Kevin Costner's in it, so that's an immediate ugh.
What? You don't like Kevin? Oh, you don't like Kevin Costner lately, or ever?
Yeah,
Kevin Costner's cool.
He's
your man's dad.
He's done some pretty bad movies.
He hasn't been in a good movie since
Dances with Wolves.
Yeah, maybe
I don't know.
No, he hasn't been in a good movie since Field of Dreams and Dances with Wolves to an extent.
Have you seen what was that cross country movie that he starred in last year?
That was okay. I actually saw that.
That was a good movie.
McFarlane USA.
Which one?
McFarlane USA.
McFarlane USA.
He
was very good in that, and the movie was good.
That is not.
It's
bad.
very
I missed
cliche,
that.
but it's actually pretty good.
It's typical Disney. Disney does really good jobs with their
live action
sports stuff.
Yeah, so it's as good as those movies. All right. I mean, if there's nothing else you guys want to say about any movies, we can hop to the news.
I think there may have been one more coming out this week.
There's a bunch of limited stuff that I didn't mention.
There's a movie called Sing Street, which is from the director of Begin Again. So I'm excited to see it.
Shit, yes, because he did Once as well.
Yes.
All right, cool.
That's all I have to say.
All right, let's hop over to news. I don't even know where to start, honestly. All right, so because I don't want to hop back into the Superman hole yet, so I'll leave that for later. All right, let's talk about. Shit, I don't even know. We'll go with Kevin Feige talked up recently about there was rumors going around that the MCU characters were allowed to be in Spider-Man, and that's the reason Spider-Man was allowed to be in the Avengers and the Marvel MCU universe. So I guess that's been confirmed. Feige did say that there are going to be multiple characters from MCU in his movie and Spider-Man, which made me go, why do you need multiple characters? I believe that it makes sense for Tony Stark to be in there. Honestly, not Iron Man, just Tony Stark. Don't see the point of other ones unless you're bringing in, honestly, the New York characters, like from the Netflix series, which are way too brutal for any Spider-Man film. But those are the ones that make sense. Spider-Man is from New York. He knows Punisher. He knows Daredevil.
And he's more street level.
Yeah, he knows the street level guys. But there's no way in hell they're introducing the Punisher who beheads people and to Spider-Man. That would be just brutal. So I guess my question is, are you guys cool with them saying that multiple MCU heroes are going to be in the Spider-Man movie? And would you guys prefer any specific characters? I'll start with you, Alexander. Or would you prefer something else with the Spider-Man version of the solo films?
Anything to keep the solo Spider-Man movie from ending with a funeral?
Oh, wait, what?
Because every
He's referring to
Spider-Man
some-
movie is the same thing structurally.
Oh,
So
interesting. I didn't even think about that.
with the exception of the original Spider-Man 2, each movie ends with a funeral, and I'm like, can we get something slightly different? So, I mean, I would like if they're gonna put Marvel characters into this solo Spider-Man movie that's being produced by Sony. I would like it to feel natural, like there's a reason they're there, so it's not just for the sake of, hey, look at these characters.
Do you think that they're going to replace Oscorp with Tony's place, or in some capacity, or no?
Well, we have not seen any sort of Oscorp in the MCU so far,
so I'm
but
just
there
curious.
there are legal reasons for that. I don't know.
Because I'm just trying to think of like what would be the, like you were saying, like it has to feel natural. What would be the reason to add multiple of the heroes? The only one that makes sense is Tony, honestly. Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
I don't even know. I mean, what do you think, Dylan? Anybody that you think makes sense?
Yeah.
besides
I was
Tony?
gonna say that I think Tony Stark will be in it and should be, and I'm buying this news because for simple fact that means that if there's MCU characters that will be in this movie, it means Kevin Feige will be helping oversee it, which means that it won't be garbage like we've gotten for the last 9 years out of this franchise.
I enjoyed Amazing Spider-Man 1 for what it was.
I liked it when I first watched it, but now I hate that movie. But it's really cool.
I don't know. Let me see what it says. Well, we're producing it for Sony. Oh wait, it says we're producing it for Sony. That's what Feige said. Interesting. It's exciting, and we're treating it like we treat all of our films. So that's another good thing to hear about. That is Feige says he's treating it like all of his films. So he is going to be heavily on board with this, according to what he said here.
Did you guys hear about the reception that Civil War got, and everyone saying that?
Yeah, I'm not going on that because the same hype was for Age of Ultron and the same hype was for BVS. I'm waiting.
Well, BVS was all
but
fans.
Age of Ultron.
These were actual critics that saw it.
Oh, well, I respect, but I'm just waiting.
Yeah, and Age of Ultron is good.
Yeah, no, I know, but I mean, like, there was people saying
You just don't want to set yourself up for disappointment.
Because I was really hyped for Age of Ultron, like really
Right.
hyped, and then it was, it was good, but not what I want, like not amazingly the fucking greatest thing I ever saw.
Yeah.
My favorite Marvel movie is Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier.
I don't want to.
I mean, I'm with you.
Just get too hyped.
I'm with you in the sense that I'm not like going off the reviews, and I think maybe the fact that I'm getting superhero fatigue is helping.
I'm not there yet.
I mean,
two bad ones in a row does hurt, but
we had Deadpool in between Fantastic Four and
I forgot about that. I was going Fantastic Four and BVS for me, so I forgot about Deadpool.
Yeah, but I mean, it's maybe this is one instance where having superhero movie fatigue is a good thing. So I can go into it open-minded. As much as I love the MCU,
Star Wars is replacing all the superhero hype now for a little bit.
Yes, and for me, Star Wars and the resurgence of monster movies.
Yeah, we haven't gotten one in a while though. A few months. I mean, it's been a good minute.
The Mummy
Monster movies?
shooting though.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of them shooting, but we haven't gotten
No,
any new ones.
I mean more giant monsters like King Kong and Godzilla.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't gotten one this year or last year. We didn't get one, right?
Well, we're getting one. We're getting one this year, but in Japan, and then next year is Kong Skull Island.
Oh man, super hyped about that. Yeah, I'm trying to think of. I'm trying to think of what the best Spider-Man story to tell is. I mean, I honestly did see the Spider-Man ending with him getting the Spider Iron suit thing. But I'm trying to see what the best way to shoehorn in other characters would be, because there aren't many. Unless they're talking about secondary characters being a part of it, then maybe that makes sense. We already know that with the Spider-Man movie, they aren't doing a Mary Jane or a
Gwen
Stacy love interest. So that's the rumors going around because they cast Zendaya.
They cast Zendaya,
She's like black and something. She's half black, half white or something.
They also said her character name. I forget what.
Oh yeah, so it's a different girl. So
it's not Mary Jane.
Maybe the other two will be around, but anybody that follows the Spider-Man knows that it takes Peter a while to get Mary Jane.
Which I just want to say, I was so happy when Zendaya was cast because it means that me as a 14-year-old watching Shake It Up was not wasted.
You're like, yes, I didn't waste those years. I've been following her amazing career. So I agree with both of you guys. Let's not shoehorn in. Let's keep Iron Man and maybe some secondary characters. I don't want to see Spider-Man fighting Falcon or anything. I get it. It made sense.
Well, he's already going to be doing
it. It made sense for Ant-Man, but to be in and Falcon to be in there, but we'll see. I mean, it's 2017, still a ways away. I'm hearing good things about his involvement. I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm hearing good things about his involvement in Civil War. So cool.
Yeah,
but I'm worried.
I'm gonna stay away from.
I mean, I haven't had any specifics, but just heard.
Well, you know how shitty Marvel fans are when it comes to not spoiling things. So,
but I'm one that doesn't care about this kind of spoilers, just because I know, unless they're going way different than the stories. Dear Jesus.
Well, even then, I don't. Even then, we know it's going to be released before.
Agree.
In worldwide before it comes out in the U.S. So I'm staying the fuck off Facebook once.
Be hard. All right, let's hop over. Let's just go over what I have here. Next, I have Edge of Tomorrow 2 is happening, which makes me go, yay. So Edge of Tomorrow was the movie that critically surprised everyone and their mama a couple years ago.
Yeah,
like nobody was expecting this movie to be good.
And it's a movie like Dread that made me go, why didn't I see this in the theater?
I did watch this in theater, but it wasn't like one that I was going out of my way. It was just like, I'm gonna watch it. It looks fun. And people have said that this is the best true video game movie where you feel the power of a video game character. It's Groundhog Day meets like science fiction action badassery, and we are getting a sequel. It says here it made 270 million internationally. 370 internationally, which is okay, not good, not a major flop, but it's okay. But it did make a lot of money on rentals, purchases on Blu-ray and DVD, a lot of the HBO, Showtime, where it plays. It made a lot of money, enough for them to greenlight a sequel. And the good thing that people were worried about was what's going to happen, who's going to come back, and it looks like at least the production team, writing team, directing team are all on board to come back, which is the great thing is that we're getting the same writing team. I believe it's the same writing team. Yeah, same writing team, and we're getting linemen back. It's the same writing team as well, right? Yeah, it's the same writing team.
Is it?
Maybe not. I might be wrong.
I thought that they were giving it to somebody else, but Christopher McQuarrie was giving them like an outline, and
I thought McQuarrie's involved. I remember he was saying people were saying that he might be directing as well. Then he said no, I'm just involved in a different capacity. Lyman is directing, so all good for me. It says here the Jesse Owen biopic writers are the ones doing it, so that's what we got there. But nonetheless, I'm excited, but I don't know where we go from what we got. The ending seemed perfectly well. It was like Groundhog Day. Did we ever need a Groundhog Day 2? No.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll ask you guys. Dylan, I'll go with you. Are you excited, and do you think we need it?
So when I was if I just would have been told, oh, there's an Edge of Tomorrow 2 happening with the same directing, writing team and stars, I would have been like, oh, I'm interested. But I'm really excited because of a quote that Christopher McQuarrie said like a few months ago. And he said, he went on a talk show and said, Edge of Tomorrow was so hard and was so draining. When we went out to dinner, and we is him and Tom Cruise, when we went out to dinner and we were making Mission Impossible 5, and Tom said, I have an idea for a sequel to Edge. I said, I don't want to fucking hear it. I do not want to know. And then he pitched the idea to me and finished pitching it. And I was like, God damn it, why did you do that? So apparently Tom Cruise has a really good idea for the sequel, and I have full faith in Tom Cruise producing anything because he hasn't starred in a bad movie in a while.
Rock of Ages is probably the one people bring up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I like that movie.
Wasn't it like 7 years ago?
No, I don't know. Rock of Ages.
No, it was 4 years ago.
Rock of Ages was like 3 years ago. I thought it was less than 4.
It was 2012.
Oh, okay. I like that movie though, but I love 80s music. Okay. So.
But everything like Oblivion was lukewarm. Everything Oblivion on. It's been really good.
Yeah.
Mission Impossible 4.
How about you, Alexander? What do you think? Are you
no
excited?
Real opinion. I mean, I'm probably the one guy that while I really liked Edge of Tomorrow, I didn't quite get the ending, so I'm not like super enthusiastic.
Yeah, the ending was a time is hard to do. Just accept it.
Yeah.
I mean, even with like if you guys are watching the James Franco show on Hulu,
11/23/63.
That handles time travel really smart, but it's hard to do time travel. But I loved Edge of Tomorrow, so.
The ending made
plus for me,
a lot more sense to me a second time.
For me, it ends in a way. for me, it ends in a way where we don't need another one.
I agree. It's not like Dread.
Oh,
For Dread, I feel like it makes sense because there's so much comic book lore there. For this one, it's like, oh, we got a proper ending. I don't even know where you go from this. I mean, spoilers. I mean,
Tom Cruise has an idea.
There aren't any powers. I mean, anymore. So I don't know. We'll find out. It's happening. But both Lyman and McCurry have a pretty busy slate, so we're not getting this until maybe 2019.
Well, Lyman's doing that movie with Amazon, and then he's still on to do Gambit, but who knows when that's coming out? So he could start shooting it.
Never.
In like a
Never.
year.
Hopefully, let's hope.
It's
for that.
never coming out.
Let's put 150 million towards Gambit. The dude with a stick and throws playing cards. Makes sense.
Yeah, hey.
Go.
Those cards cost some money.
Seriously, what the man? Fox needs to get smacked sometimes, dude. Jesus. All right, moving on. Kingsman news. So they cast the dude from Game of Thrones, who is a Hispanic guy. I think his last name is Pascal. He was one of my favorite characters on the show. I can't remember what his name is. Where is it? I don't have
Pedro Pascal.
That guy. He's been in a couple TV. He's been in a bunch of TV. Doesn't really have any major movies under his belt, but he's casting it. But the biggest tease, like this is like the ultimate cock tease for most people, is the poster. So they released the poster, and they know what they're doing. But the poster says, reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated. And it has a pair of glasses on it with one lens missing. Spoilers if you have not seen Kingsman. A key character dies in that movie. I mean, actually, maybe not spoiler. Key character dies in that film. And then you bring out this poster, and people are already speculating. I heard some interesting things on like Movie Talk and stuff about maybe this is just a propaganda piece, or some people are saying don't put this up if this person isn't in the movie. So I'll just say, first off, I mean it's cool that they are casting a Latino. I think he's playing one of the villains. So that's awesome. So he might be playing a similar role to the girl with the sharp legs in this film. Maybe he's going to be Julianne Moore's henchman or whatever. That'd be pretty cool. Or maybe he's another spy or something, maybe working for Halle Berry. But I'll ask Alexander. We all liked Kingsman. What do you make of the poster? Are you excited if what the poster is alluding to is true? And I mean, do you watch Game of Thrones, right, Alexander?
Yeah.
So what do you think about the casting of Pascal, whatever his name is?
I actually haven't seen the poster.
Okay.
So I didn't even know there was one until you mentioned it.
All right. Well, the poster. I mean,
I'll put it in the.
I mean, the poster's what I said. I mean, if you don't really care to look it up, I mean, it's literally just. I mean, if I say the words "reports of my death have been greatly exaggerated," that's the poster. If what it's alluding to is what's going to happen, are you cool with that, or would you prefer them to just let that person go?
Well, I need to see it first.
Okay, I'll go.
Well, I just put it in the chat.
All right, how about you, Dylan?
I know, I need to open this because Skype is slow.
All right, what about you, Dylan?
Alright, so we all know that I adore Kingsman. It's one of my favorite movies of last year. I can't wait for the sequel. When I saw this, at first I was like, oh, that's cool. And now I'm hoping that there's something more clever to this, and not just that they're bringing him back.
The way this person goes out is
original.
It's pretty brutal. So
yeah, I feel like unless they can explain it, I feel it cheapens the original movie and a lot of what the movie had to say about the spy genre and the current state of filmmaking, which is disappointing.
I started to think of what ways there could.
But the thing is, Matthew Vaughn wrote and directed the sequel and the original, so
it's based on a
I have full faith in him.
It's based on a comic book.
Well, yeah,
series,
but didn't they catch up with the first film?
Oh, no. I mean, there's like the comic book. He took what he wanted out of the comic books. I mean, there's not if you read the comic book from issue 1 to the end, what he did here, what the first trade, which is like the first 6 issues is like almost nothing to do with this movie. There's parts. It's like he took the best parts of it and made a movie, which is cool.
Okay, well,
but it's not.
That's what he did with Kick-Ass too.
Yeah, he takes the cool parts and then goes with it. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean,
I see the.
I have faith in Matthew.
He can do the same thing.
Sure.
There's still cool things that he didn't take out of the comic books that he can do here.
I want a flashback with him.
That'd be cool.
Like with him, and then with him becoming a Kingsman, he can have it parallel with.
I don't know. I think it's cool for a flashback, but what you're saying, I don't know if I want to see that. I don't know. How about
I'm just saying that if that works, like I was just trying to spitball of an idea that would make it work both thematically.
I don't know what would make sense either. How about
I don't
you?
want him being like, oh,
I'm back, bitches.
I had a bulletproof head.
I'm
I'd be
back,
like,
mother f's.
Shut up. No.
What do you think, Alexander?
Well, okay, I just saw the poster, and
Do you think
if they are really alluding to what the poster says, and it's not a flashback, then that's going to be bullshit. Because
see?
really, we see footage, and there's no gray line
unless he's
we
the bad
see
guy?
him.
What? I don't know. There is
No.
He took it pretty. It's over. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see. But it's cool though. I mean, they're hype. Like, it's cool. I just think it's cool that everybody that's involved is still super hyped about it. The fact that Matthew Vaughn's coming back is really cool because he's hyped about it still, which we all know he leaves pretty fast, and he doesn't have a bad movie under his belt. We mentioned Charlize Theron earlier. The Fast and Furious films seem to be going with getting a quality actress here, ladies and gentlemen, because
Or she desperately needs a new house. Huh?
yes, just a couple houses because the payday from this kind of franchise. It's going to buy you several houses. Charlize Theron and Game of Thrones actors, I'm going to call him redhead dude with the beard, because that's how I know him as, have been cast as villains for Fast and Furious 8. If you really think about the Fast and Furious films, they've gone, it was Luke Evans for 6, right? All right, Luke Evans for 6.
Luke
First
Evans was 6. Jason
the
Statham.
first one was start with The Rock in 5.
Oh, yes. Rock was 5, Luke Evans was 6, Jason Statham was 7, and now Charlize Theron is 8. They are putting money behind it, and this franchise
She could be 8, 9, and 10 because they're making
she's
one
the
final
sister.
trilogy, as they said.
She's the sister of Jason Statham's character. I don't know. It's cool though. I mean, we already know she's a badass from Mad Max. But damn, she's like a badass here as well. It's gonna be interesting. I don't know. There's nothing really else to say. I just thought this was awesome. Charlize Theron is going to be the villain in fucking Fast and Furious.
I think that this is Charlize Theron trying to cash in on how well Mad Max did before the new Huntsman movie comes out and bombs, and people are like, "Wait, Charlize Theron, people don't go to the movies to see you." She's like, "I'm already in Fast 8."
Somehow,
it's called Fast 8 now. I'm assuming this is the title, Fast 8, right?
I think it's
they
Fast
need
8.
to get more creative with their titles, really.
No, it's perfect branding.
It's like just
the fourth one.
No, it's not.
Furious 9, Fast
I
and
can
Furious
name
10.
them, and I can name them all in order. The Fast and the Furious,
can't.
Too Fast, Too Furious.
No, I can't.
Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious, Fast 5, Fast and Furious 6, Furious 7, Fast 8. Perfect branding.
Dear Jesus.
No, it's unoriginal,
It's
uninspired.
lazy,
They
it's
need
lazy as fuck.
just.
Too Fast, Too Furious is unoriginal.
Yeah, I said something else, and just because something's original doesn't mean it's good. That's a shitty title.
It's stupid, but it's funny. So what do you think, Alexander, about Charlize Theron? Excited? I mean, we know that you weren't the biggest fan. You like Mad Max, but the hype that it got, you weren't behind.
The hype killed me from loving it, because I'm sorry, it's not a masterpiece.
I guess I'll say it's cool that there's a female lead, right, for a villain. That's cool.
Yeah, that's a shining spot in it, but I don't know. The Fast and the Furious movies are so stupid.
That's what I love them though. They're stupid as fun, but
I
love them now.
Yeah, I just they're good action movies, but really I mean, the only reason somebody of Charlize Theron's caliber would take this is, again, this would be just one of her paycheck movies.
Payday.
She just needed to get a new house.
All right.
Maybe she saw the classic scene where The Rock flexes out of a cast and was like, "I need to get in on that."
She's gonna flex. I don't know. I think
She's-
I guarantee,
right there.
Alexander, they so don't give a fuck. I bet she's the sister. I
Oh, no,
bet
without a doubt,
she's
the
the sister. They
This
took
is
out my
the
brother.
Well, I mean,
that
and
brought
my other
back
brother.
Michelle Rodriguez without explaining a single reason why she came back. If I remember correctly, she just showed up in a post credit scene like, "Oh, she back? Hey, cool."
She's cool. She made.
And she's here.
What, Furious 7?
It's-
No,
you're
Fast and
Furious.
Furious 6?
6, yeah.
She was a post credit scene in Fast 5, and then they're like, "Oh, she's alive," and then she's like, but I think she died
she
in one of
was?
the earlier films.
Oh, they show
I-
when she gets shot she like rode out of the way or something, right?
In Fast and
Oh,
Furious
did they?
6, yeah.
They say in
Oh,
one
I
of them
didn't
there's a
remember.
scene where the car blows up and the guy's walking over and she rolls out and the guy's like, well, like I don't know, it was some stupid thing.
Oh,
It's
they
stupid.
did?
It's so
Okay.
stupid.
I didn't remember that.
All right, let's move on then. It's just not else we could say
Um,
this amazing thing.
But one thing what was I, there's something else I was gonna say. Yeah, I mean, you know, if they make her Luke Evans and Jason Statham's sister, that's not going to be surprising because this movie really hammers in the notion of we're family, and it's like, okay, we get it. Huh?
Makes sense. All right. Moving
Family
on.
is when you jump from one car to another and catch them. And then when the person asks, how'd you know cars when we were there? You respond, I didn't.
Oh, family.
Family.
All right.
That's
Like I said,
that's
I'm
worse.
leaving the other Warner Brothers news for the endings to stick away from some Batman stuff.
Well, what other Warner Brothers stuff do you have? Huh?
It's a pretty big.
It's the slate.
Yeah.
Everything we have, there's nothing. I mean, we have Netflix is making a play for Death Note, which is the big anime movie.
They won it.
Oh, they won. Okay,
Yeah,
they're putting down $50 million for this movie. They didn't pay that much for the movie, but that's how they won the bid. They're putting $50 million. Can you guys hear me? Or are you guys good?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Netflix wanted this movie stars Nat Wolff, which people are already going, wait, this is a movie about Asians. What's going to happen? But I think if they change the names, it'll work. Death Note is considered one of the greatest anime stories ever told. I've never watched it, but I've heard of it. It's an original manga series from 2003 to 2006. I know it's about like... It says, tells the story of a high school student who discovers a notebook that grants him the ability to kill anyone by writing their name on its pages. The live-action crazy anime. Netflix won the bidding war, showing that Netflix is probably going to, in a couple years, move away from having other people's content on their thing. They're going with their own shit now. They're pledging $40 to $50 million for the production. I don't know how much they paid for this, though. I don't know how they won the bidding war, honestly. Can't find the number.
From what I remember reading, it was like all it said was like several studios were interested when the rights
they didn't put the number out there though.
Got announced. I don't remember seeing a number.
Okay.
I'll research, see if I can find some.
All right. Well, while you do that, I'm gonna move on to something that I find interesting that they're making. So Warner Brothers is making a Speedy Gonzales movie. Now, Speedy Gonzales to me is one of the very racist old school cartoons. Like, he's the Mexican that arriba, the sombrero, the dancing around the sombrero. A very racist character. And it's interesting that they decided to go and make it's an animated movie based upon that character. I guess keeping it animated might make it be less racist, maybe.
Well, here's the thing. Like with Speedy Gonzales, yeah, he's a racist stereotype, but much like Apu Nahasapina Penelon, we still love him.
I agree.
Like he's not like Jar Jar Binks or a Skids and Mudflap.
Yeah. This is like, yeah. I mean, he is from Mexico. I don't know. He's essentially they compare him to steals from the rich, gives to the poor kind of character. It's an animated movie in the same by Warner Brothers. Does Warner Brothers make animated movies? I don't know. Do you guys know?
Yes,
they do because Lego Movie.
There is a Warner Brothers animation studio.
Because for a while they didn't make animated stuff. Like Iron Giant was one of those movies that kind of killed their animation department because it bombed, unfortunately. But with Lego Movie, now they're getting back into doing animated movies, which is cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Oh, is that their only one that they've had in the last couple of years?
Lego Movie?
Like in the last 10 years, is that really their only one? Because I can't think of one.
I believe so.
All right. Well, see what we got here. I'm trying to see if there's any team.
Bring up a topic that we haven't talked about surprisingly yet?
Yeah, just give me one. I'm trying to see if there's anybody that's on board. It says.
Oh, okay.
No. Nope, I don't see. They don't really have anything. They have a writer who's the Saving Silverman writer, Hank Nelkman. I don't know. They have a producer from River Edge Films. I don't know. That's all they got so far. What were you gonna bring up? I don't. Because I mean,
we surprisingly haven't talked about the Star Wars Rogue One teaser yet.
yeah, I saw Alexander.
Yeah,
Alexander,
how did we get this far without talking about it?
I saw your review at the end of your Blu-ray review, and I kind of forgot. All right, we can talk about that. Well, let me just say this: Dave Bautista is in Blade Runner 2. There you go. He's in Blade Runner. Let's hope he's better than what he did in Spectre. So there you go. All right, let's do the Rogue One trailer now, and then we'll talk about the other two in a bit. Wait,
other two trailers?
No, the other two, like the Warner Brothers dates.
Stories, I think.
The dates things.
Okay, because there are a couple other trailers that I think are worth noting.
Oh, I mean, if you have them, you can mention them. I think Neighbors was Neighbors 1. I think Neighbors 2 was that one.
No, Dylan has one. I have another, and surprisingly, they're both Warner Brothers stuff.
Okay, cool. So Dylan, wait. Oh, you guys both have different. Oh, you guys have other trailers.
Let's start with Rogue One first. Huh? Let's not.
All right, so let's talk about the Rogue One teaser trailer, which had a teaser for its teaser trailer the day before. You guys knew that I was more excited about this film before I fell into the Star Wars rabbit hole of The Force Awakens. So I was more excited about this movie because of the fact that it was a different story by characters we don't know about for the most part. I thought that was awesome, and this trailer gave me, in a minute, really honestly, of footage, what I needed to know about this, and I was hoping for Darth Vader, honestly, but I started thinking about things. I watched Rebels, the Star Wars TV show, and now I am thinking that maybe we won't see Vader, maybe we'll hear Vader for like a minute, but he's going to send the Inquisitors after these guys, and that'll be cool for me because I watch Rebels. So
we'll see, because rarely do cartoons like within a larger universe tie in.
So if you guys don't know, the Inquisitors are essentially people that work for the Siths but aren't Siths themselves. They wield lightsabers and all this other stuff. But what were you gonna say?
They're basically they work for the Empire, and they're Force sensitive, but they do not. They're not considered apprentices of the Sith because there's the rule of there can only be two.
So you aren't allowed to become one. You have to say as what that is. And there's a lot of them, and there's some cool ones. So I agree with you. They don't really match the cartoons and the movies, but I just think they're pretty cool.
And plus, with if they were going to put an Inquisitor in Rogue One, you have to take away that fucking helicopter lightsaber bullshit.
Oh, you didn't like that in the cartoon? I thought that was cool.
That was so stupid.
They fly away.
Like, I love Star Wars, but there are certain things in Star Wars that I will not accept. And
that's one of them.
I mean, outside of the fact that the Inquisitor's lightsabers are confusing in the sense of how they spin around while the hilt is stationary, how do you can't fly with those things?
Yeah, I mean, watching Rebels cartoon, they go out pretty easily against a Jedi, but these aren't Jedi in this movie, so they can take out several of these fuckers, honestly, which is what I want. Yeah. Like, my dream teaser was 3 of these people going out and saying, we'll handle this guy, because I don't think they know about Vader yet, right?
I would think they do, because
Vader's do they know the true power of Vader yet, though? Because I feel like
I think they know of Vader, because this takes place just before...
A year before...
Does it take place a year before
1 year.
A New Hope?
One year before New Hope. That's what I was right.
Yeah, this takes place as soon as the Death Star is completed.
So from what I heard,
because in the trailer they put the
I
dish
saw
on.
that.
Yeah, I heard it was 1 year before New Hope. So,
but aren't there those canon books that take place in between 3 and 4 that have the Rebel Alliance
those don't count
in fear for their lives while Darth Vader?
Are you saying current
the Battlefront book? I think takes place in between them.
Oh yeah, I didn't read.
And then there's like a scene where Darth Vader goes and just wrecks shit in like two pages and destroys the entire.
I didn't read. I haven't read the Battlefront books because they didn't look interesting. But this would be more along the lines of that. But I guess it would make sense. They probably heard of him. But I just wanted that scene of 3 dudes to be like, "We'll take care of him," as everybody else runs, and then you just know that they're dead. And we didn't get that scene. I mean, them going against the AT-ATs or AT-ATs, a lot of motherfuckers are going to die. That's an awesome scene. But yeah, so I'm excited as hell. People are, the complaints about another girl bullshit, I don't care about any of that. Honestly.
Oh, yeah, I addressed that in my...
like minority.
Yeah, I saw it in your
Seems
thing,
to
Alexander.
complain
That's why I
about that.
mentioned it here. I'm like, I don't care about any of that.
Minorities and dumbass men who are probably scared of women.
I don't get it. And then people are putting up, well, we got like 6 movies with dudes. We can have it. We can have 2 with a girl. You don't have to worry about. And honestly, Finn and Poe Dameron were pretty badass as well. So, and there's going to be plenty of badass people. Like, she's going to be the only girl on the team. If you saw the pictures, like there's going to be like the samurais that do like whatever. I don't care about any of that. It looked cool, Alexander. We saw your thing. Do you want me to go to Dylan first? Or you want to say your thoughts first before?
I'll go last since I've talked about it on my channel.
All right, Dylan. You can. What do you think?
All right. So I watched the trailer, and when I watched it the first time, I was kind of underwhelmed. I'm like, oh, looks fine. There were, interestingly enough, and I saw on Facebook that Alex agreed with me. I thought no one was going to agree with me. There were certain shots that looked like a fan film during it, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. But it looked good.
I'll elaborate on that when it gets to me.
Okay. But as for the most part, I liked all the visual stuff. I really enjoyed the war aesthetic. I like the siren in the background and the piano's theme, although it's been done in like the Ghostbusters and Jurassic World trailer, was still fine.
I like the
dialogue was a bit.
The alarm was cool.
Yeah, the dialogue was a bit kind of.
Yeah, that rebel line was
when
weird.
She's like,
I don't like that line.
I rebel. That sounds like something.
I didn't like that line.
I
didn't like that line when I heard it originally, and then people started hating. I didn't hate it. I was just like, that was just a weird line. Like,
I was like, oh, that's weird.
Who would say that line?
Wait a minute. Corny dialogue in a franchise with lines like, "Aren't you a little short for a stormtrooper?"
Hey, man.
No,
it was just
I'm
weird.
sure in the context of the movie it'll work. It's just in the context of the trailer, I was like, oh.
I think that was the context. I think that was the
context. Didn't come across as good as I was expecting. But everything that visually in that thing in the trailer looked great, especially the shot where they're like running towards the AT-ATs. I was like, holy shit, are we gonna get a like Saving Private Ryan D-Day sequence, but in the Star Wars universe? Because that's what that shot screamed to me, and that makes me immensely excited for the movie. I guess all in all, I was underwhelmed, but I'm still really excited for the movie. But I'm not more excited or lose my mind like I was for all the Star Wars Force Awakens trailers. I'm like, oh yeah, it looks good. Looks like it's in capable hands. Not worried.
Yeah, I'm trying to think something over here. So, people were saying that there's a rumor going around. People think that Diego Luna is Biggs. I thought that was funny. Because
he's not.
Because he looks like, because he's Latino. I don't know, because of the mustache and the hairstyle, but he's like Diego Luna's Latino.
He got his official name this past week.
I
forget what it is.
The official character name.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's actually a lot of characters that don't have names.
You know what? I'll say this. Even though he looks like Biggs Darklighter, it would be weird if it was him, because I don't think Biggs was in the Alliance much longer than Luke was.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I thought, Biggs would have been like about a year. Maybe, because Diego Luna's character looks like he's been there for a while. He knows shit, so it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So we gotta look at 4 members of the core team, because I don't think Forrest Whitaker is part of the core team that goes in. We got Felicity Jones's character, which is Jane or John, or what's her name? Jin? It's JYN, right?
JYN.
Whatever that is. We got her.
Hang on. Jin Asser.
There you go. Oh, we got her. We got Diego Luna. We got Mr. Samurai Donnie Yen, and we got the one dude that's running with a machine gun. He's also a core part of the team. I don't know what his name is, but he's running in the trailer, and he's a core part of the team. We didn't get the dude from Nightcrawler, what his role is going to be, but from the pictures that we saw, he seems like the technician. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, Alexander, I heard your thoughts, but anything else you would like to add?
Well, I wanted to elaborate what Dylan said when I said in my review that there are parts of it that look like a fan film. I don't mean that because if you look at the Star Wars fandom, next to Harry Potter, they are dedicated people. And if you look at photos of the 501st support group, all of their costumes are movie accurate. So the fact that I say that that's just more of a testament to how good Star Wars fan films are, that they can look like the movies. So
I will say that you mentioned people are confused about what this movie is, and I know, Alexander, you mentioned in your Twitter, but I kind of disagree a little bit with what you said because I think people might have the right to be confused a little bit because, like, and not your average moviegoer, like your people like us or people that even go to
moviegoer has right to be confused.
I don't know, like, yeah,
because
like
the average moviegoer goes to like 5 movies a year.
Okay, well, the moviegoer like that is confused because I've had people that ask me like, "Oh, is this the next one?" Because like, and they're confused looking for Ray or any of these because they don't pay attention to the numerical numbers, episode 7 and episode 8. They just look at Star Wars Rogue One. This has to be the next one, and I think some people
They also
it's Star Wars
advertise
though.
The Force Awakens.
Yeah, I get it, but I just think people are confused.
You're embedded with that knowledge on the day you're born. Like, the day you're born.
We are. And not even
So
me.
You know who Luke Skywalker is. You know who Darth Vader is. You know what the Death Star is. You're embedded with that knowledge the day you're born.
Should be.
Yes, but okay, but think about it this way, Alex. We're all Americans, and
okay.
everyone who's an
Patriotic
American,
speech,
or at least not, or like so in America, so everywhere else in the world, people grow up playing soccer. In America, you grow up playing basketball primarily. If I were to give you an image of a Toronto Raptors jersey from the 90s or now, and I'd be like, okay, pick which one is from there, you would have no idea. Does that make you dumb?
You're talking
because you don't know that? No, because you're just not well versed in sports. These people that don't know when the Stars movie takes place, you're like, oh, okay.
I was going based on
have some
like
questions.
That's actually
dumb.
I've asked people.
Okay,
so I know a lot of people that live in the cities that aren't really big moviegoers. They're not like orgasming from Star Wars or movies or anything like that. And those are the people that are like, oh, is this the next one? Not just because they don't research or don't even look it up. They just assume it is. So I get people should know, or at least a lot of people should know, but I think it's probably 50-50 of people that just don't know that this isn't the next one.
And they will know by the time the movie comes out.
And I don't think they will know. I think though.
I think the marketing machine will make sure
they'll find out. This trailer should have started 20 years ago. It should have, honestly, but or 30 years ago. But they're gonna find out
once you see Darth Vader in the next trailer.
When you see Darth Vader, then you know. That's how you know.
Okay, You mean the fact that we see the old school stormtroopers, Star Destroyers, and Death Star is not enough?
People aren't going to
notice it. The stormtroopers don't look that much different.
People aren't going to notice that.
Especially for the average moviegoer.
No, they're not. The
stormtroopers are... Okay, the stormtroopers are iconic.
I'm telling you.
The stormtroopers are iconic. Those classic outfits.
The design is not that big of a change, though. Most people are not going to notice.
They're going to see
the helmet.
If they were different colors, then yeah. But people are going to be like, "Oh, look, it's a white and black stormtrooper."
I sat in a Spanish class today where the person said that had a picture of the stormtroopers from Return of the Jedi and was like, "Oh, these guys are clones," and I was like, and in my head I'm like, "Oh no, they're not." But it's completely acceptable for someone to think that because
I don't know.
Even then, the Death Star. How do you not see the Death Star and not know when this takes place?
There's been 4 Death Stars.
Arguably 3 Death Stars in this franchise. I'm like, oh, there's another Death Star.
There's 2.
No, there's 3. They were putting another one. Remember?
Yeah, but they're the Star Killer base.
You're going by names, the Star Killer base. Okay, but this is my thing. So the way people that go to the movies 3 or 4 times a year look at that, and people that I've talked to, they're like, they see that as like, oh, it's another round thing in space. Oh, it's another white and black stormtrooper. Oh, like that's how they look at it. They don't put into the account, oh wait, this looks vintage. It looks older. Like the average moviegoer, I don't know. I just don't think so. Because like if I ask my mom or cousins that don't go to the movies, they'd be like, oh, where's Ray at? Is that Ray? I'm like, no, that's not. I don't know.
I still think
maybe
Star
it's different
Wars
living. Maybe it's different living over there in California. Because I'm in New York, I'm in upstate New York, so people are...
It probably is, but even then, Star Wars is, like, so iconic that, like, people can recognize things by look.
That's why I would have said that once you see Darth Vader, you're going to, oh, this is an old one.
Okay.
Or you start the trailer going 20 or 30 years ago. The end.
The Death Star is, I think, is enough, but whatever.
I don't know. It looks just like it's just a round circle of people. So what are y'all? What are the other trailers?
Never mind. I'm gonna start cussing you two out if we don't move on.
What are the other trailers? He's like, you guys should know. You live in LA.
Why? Because we're defending people.
That come off.
Because we're
You're defending
the average
idiots.
moviegoer. They're not idiots.
Let's move on.
Are you an idiot for not being able to distinguish which generation Raptor jersey
All right,
has
Yes.
the fucking purple dinosaur?
That's a bit.
Yes.
That's a bit. I mean, that's specific. The Raptors dinosaur.
And plus, you're talking.
You can.
And plus, you're talking to a guy who doesn't care about sports.
I could.
Yes, and most people don't care about movie news.
They care
They
about
just
Star
see
Wars,
trailers and
though.
go see them.
But
I
this
don't
is Star Wars.
Well, all right,
I
It's
understand
one of the
Star
most-
Wars, so they'll watch it
it's
when
one
it
of the
shows
most-
up on their Twitter feed.
Star Wars is one of the most iconic things out there.
What
Huh?
are the other
And
trailers you guys
basketball
have?
is literally the second most popular sport in the world. And guess what? You wouldn't be able to
Wait,
distinguish
basketball-
that.
Basketball's been popular than than football. Yeah, you're right. All
It
right.
goes soccer, basketball, football.
What's the other trailers you guys have? So I can look them up here.
You go first, Dylan.
What's your trailer?
I mean, I assume you're referring to the Suicide Squad trailer, but
I didn't see
apparently
that.
there's an extended one that just dropped while we were filming this. So I haven't seen the extended one yet. And a Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them trailer dropped as we were recording.
Oh yeah,
this.
there was. It's called a Blitz trailer. 2 hours. Oh wait, is it a Blitz? Is there a new
No,
one?
there's a Blitz trailer
No.
and there's a trailer 3.
What?
The Blitz trailer was the clip on MTV. The trailer 3 is the extended version.
I'm just gonna look it up here and see what we got, and see how long ago. Oh yeah, there is. It's called MTV number 3, but there is no. It's not officially on YouTube, so I don't know what that means.
I saw there was one on YouTube.
No, there's not. It says unless it's the. No, the official trailer is the
From-
Blitz trailer. It's called.
But
Blitz
there's-
trailer. It says official.
How
Trailer.
long is the Blitz trailer?
It was 2 minutes and 39 seconds.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah, so.
But I
didn't-
saw a clip that was on MTV that was a minute and a half earlier.
I mean, I haven't watched
That's
it,
why I
yet, but I'll play it.
Jeez.
I'll play it while we talk. Let me see. I'll look at it after. We'll talk about it later. What was your trailer, Alexander?
Fantastic Beasts.
There's a new trailer for that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it dropped as we were.
Son of a bitch!
yeah. It's the first
Official
It
trailer.
says teaser trailer, but it's like
It's
an actual
2 minutes
trailer.
and 20 seconds of goodness. Oh
Yeah,
my God.
I
Okay.
took a look at it.
Yes. Does it look good? I mean, I'm gonna play it, but I'm not really gonna listen to it. Does it look good?
Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. If you guys don't know, this is a original story that's being written from J.K. Rowling herself. Like, this is her first screenplay, and it takes place in the 20s in America, and follows a Hogwarts professor who, I believe he's a Hogwarts professor who
I'm
brings.
sold. Colin Farrell's in the trailer. Sold. Here's the money.
Yeah, he brings a case of magical creatures to America, and things don't quite work out.
Okay, so I got a question to ask. Do you think it's a bad move to not show? Because I'm going through the trailer. Do you think it's a bad move not to show the beasts, any of the magic or anything like that? There's no magic in the trailer.
Well,
No, there is.
There is. Is it towards the end? I mean, the thing at the end with I'm literally just I'm pausing it and going through screenshots, so I'm not really looking at it. But it doesn't look like there's a lot of wand magic going on or any.
No, there's
Oh, never mind. I see it.
there's a handful of stuff.
Okay, I
there's
see it.
flying dishes. There's apparating. There are a few glimpses of some creatures, and there's Eddie Redmayne's character walking into his briefcase like it's a set of stairs.
Sweet. I'm super excited about this. I'm actually very excited about this movie. This is another one that falls into that Row One thing though. About when it comes to Harry Potter, do you think people should know?
Yeah.
This one's a little bit harder, I think, because there's no. Because I don't. In the
Because
posters,
there are
does it
no
say?
characters.
Does it say? But in the posters, does it say anything Harry Potter related, or is it just?
It mentions the Wizarding World,
Okay, interesting.
So
Yeah,
I
and
think
it also
when
says
people.
J.K. Rowling.
That people aren't gonna know that at all. Honestly,
Yeah, they will.
you
She's
kidding
like-
me?
I honestly
She's
don't
like
think so.
one of the most popular writers of all time.
People that read,
Yeah.
will. People that don't read or don't care, I don't think so.
No, people that don't read know the name J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, I beg to differ.
We're gonna have this we're gonna go back
like
to this
people-
conversation about
Star Wars.
It's just like George Lucas. People that haven't even watched Star Wars know George Lucas made Star Wars.
I don't know. I should make a video where I ask people from upstate New York if they know the name
You
George
ask
Lucas.
people if they know who J.K. Rowling is.
Oh my god.
90% of them will know who she is.
I'd be like,
But even then,
did she direct those Harry Potter movies? Like
She didn't direct
no,
them.
but that's what I'm gonna
she wrote the
get.
books.
That's what I'm gonna get. I'm almost positive. But it looks
but-
cool.
but
I mean,
even-
I like the vintage look of this trailer though. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Although I will say, like, out of all the we're gonna take some of the biggest film franchises out there and make prequels thing that they're doing. This has the potential to be the best one because let's take a look at the Hobbit movies. We were excited for them,
Lily's
right?
like, do we have to?
No, let's take a look at them for a second. We were excited for those things when they were announced, but as they went on, they're like, okay, you're butchering this story, you're dragging it for way too long. And by the end of the franchise, we were like, oh, thank God this is over. And now let's take a look at the Star Wars prequels. A little more pressure because they were original. They weren't based off any sort of book. But George Lucas didn't really have his game in, and there were points where he really screwed a lot of things up, and those movies are not very good. J.K. Rowling has more of a trust with the fan base than George Lucas ever did with Star Wars, because when J.K. Rowling says something is canon, people go, yeah, okay. I mean, she's the creator. I can't judge her. But when George Lucas says something is canon, people are like, no, we don't trust you on this, man.
Yeah.
So, and plus, this
J.K.
is
Rowling
Did she write that
Charlize
adult
franchise.
story? With Harry Potter, or is that something else? Did she write that?
She wrote the screenplay for the play that takes place 20 years after Deathly Hallows Part 2.
yeah, yeah, she
Any
did.
chance we ever get that? Because I heard that's pretty dark.
In a movie?
I heard it.
I
mean, I heard it's
I
pretty
doubt
dark.
maybe if she has to approve of it first for it to be a movie, but right now it's just a play.
You mentioned it earlier, but this takes place in New York. We've never been to the wizarding style of New York or United States at all.
Yeah, so this is where things get more interesting because it's showing us a different side of the wizarding world, and because it takes place in the 20s, a full 70 years before Harry gets his first letter to Hogwarts. There is no chance that this could at all tie in with.
I don't want it to.
Yeah, I don't either. But where it's set, I don't think there's a chance it will tie in because
Maybe there'll be a mention of the parents. Maybe.
Well, I doubt it because they'll not be born yet. But they do mention Dumbledore. Like if they mention Hogwarts professors.
Wait, what year is Harry Potter set in?
The 90s.
Yeah, no.
So his parents would have done. Yeah, all right. His parents would be born. Maybe
They wouldn't have been alive.
Don't mention Dumbledore. Maybe Dumbledore, like you said. Maybe.
Like if they mention the professors, that'll be fine. But if they mention anything that would lead into the official story, then it's going to be like, okay, you're forcing this in, huh? And that's the only thing that I'm worried about. Like with the Hobbit movie, with the Star Wars prequels, it was made to be answers to the original trilogy. They just were terrible. And The Hobbit should have been a standalone story, but was botched by all of these nods to Lord of the Rings and what's to come. Huh? This has the potential to be its own thing. Huh? So, I don't know. I'm looking forward to this. And that's not me saying that just because I work at Wizarding World in
I'm super excited
Hollywood.
about this. I mean, we're all super excited about this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has Eddie Redmayne, so I'm all in.
I just think it's cool as Harry Potter.
The best actor that everybody loves to hate for some reason.
Oh, really? I mean, I know people that don't
Hates
like
him.
him. I know people that don't like him, but I don't know people.
People,
He has a strong-
the reason people don't like him is because they feel like he stole the Oscar from Michael Keaton, which I'm one of those guys that
They
think.
stole it.
I mean, if we're
2-1.
going by that, I hate Jennifer Lawrence way more than I hate this guy.
Yeah, but I mean,
and that's
control
blasphemous to say. Like,
I'm one of the few guys. Although honestly, I think the Jennifer Lawrence high is over. Like people are like, yeah, she's good, but we're not obsessed over
I am
her.
upset at the way that they're marketing.
That's Daisy
her
Ridley's role now.
I'm upset at the way that they're marketing her in the X-Men films. I'm just gonna be honest. I hate that
Well, she looks
Mystique
bad.
is all of a sudden a part of the main team that fights Apocalypse. Let's do this, and she's not even wearing her costume. She's regular. Well, all right, fuck it, because she's Jennifer Lawrence, and we gotta put her in the movie and have her face with no blue shit.
This is her last X-Men movie, though.
I
So.
don't care. No, she said that she's doing another one. I read that somewhere.
Yeah, but she's not signed
Really?
on.
Yeah, I read that recently, a couple weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago.
I will be shocked if she signs on for anything less than 25 million.
We did mention this, and this is something I was going to bring up, but we figured out what we know. What one of the spinoff, we know what the next X-Men movie is going to be. It's called X-Men: The New Mutants. So
That was announced a while ago.
I think it was rumor for a while.
March
ago.
31st, but we didn't record that week. I don't think we recorded. I think we didn't record. But I'll mention that. Yeah, so it's interesting when they announced the names of who from the original thing is coming back. There was only one person that was mentioned, and that was Storm. So no Jennifer.
Isn't Ty Sheridan coming back?
That's not what it says here.
I remember.
It says here, no, the three people that are confirmed for that movie are Maisie Williams, the little girl from The Witch, and Alexandra Shipp. Yeah, the little girl from The Witch. Yeah, her.
She was fantastic.
And Alexander Shipp, who is playing Storm. Those are the main confirmed ones. People say that it's almost guaranteed that James McAvoy is going to be in as a professor because you can't have a movie about young teen students without him. But I'm excited about this movie because of the fact that we're finally getting what the X-Men should be. Like, what the X-Men should have been done. Like, Ben had this thing. The X-Men is really strong on the young kids like in school. And we've not gotten we should have got a spinoff about this or a TV show. This is what I wanted, the TV show that Marvel wanted. I mean, that Fox was trying to get made. But instead they made two other ones. Like, the X-Men is about the Academy. Like, one of my comic books that I have on my wall up here is New X-Men Academy X. It's about the students, like not the key students because those guys are all old. And this one is Maisie Williams playing like these are all young kids. This also shows me that if Alexander Shipp is here, and she's a bad guy in the new X-Men movie, I feel like some time stuff is gonna happen in this movie. Like some serious like.
Is she a bad guy in Apocalypse?
Yeah, she works for Apocalypse. She's one of the Horsemen.
Oh.
Like.
But who is she playing?
She's Storm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Archangel, Storm, Psylocke, and Magneto.
Psylocke and Magneto.
Those are the bad guys. But again, they are being controlled by him, so maybe that's where they loophole it. But it's cool
because Magneto normally doesn't get controlled by anyone.
Yeah, he doesn't work for nobody. I don't know. It's cool. I'm excited. I mean, we know one of the spinoff movies is. I mean, the other one is going to be X Factor or Deadpool 2, more than likely.
Yeah.
All right. So the DC news that I was going to mention before we hop over to Blu-rays was going to be we got 2 new release dates, and the Wonder Woman release date got moved forward. So there's been all these rumors going around about what's going to happen now with the DC universe, and people are boycotting and all this other bullshit. And honestly, nothing's going to change. We're not changing
Sadly.
anything.
Even though I'm one of those movies that's
There's a lot changing at Warner Brothers.
One of those movies. Even though I'm one of those guys that's like, take Zack Snyder off of Justice League, I know they're not going to do that.
What do you mean, Dylan? There's a lot changing.
They said that they're changing up their entire release strategy.
They did, but that's not changing the format of what they're doing.
That's not.
That's like,
plus, that's not
that's
for
the
DC,
moving dates around, because when they mentioned this slate a while ago, I thought half the slate was bullshit. Like, and I remember saying it was bullshit. Cyborg,
like you said,
Cyborg is never happening. Nobody gives two shits about that movie. Now there's rumors saying that he's going to be in the Flash movie. That's the rumors.
Well,
no.
Might.
Don't come saying it makes sense, because it doesn't make any sense.
No, I'm saying that. Well, I mean, it makes like.
It doesn't make any sense. The
Flash
and Cyborg aren't even. They're turning Cyborg. They're turning Cyborg into Green Lantern. That's why they're doing this movie, because at one point there was the rumor of the Green Lantern Flash buddy movie. That Green Lantern is turned into the Green Lantern Corps, whatever. Now they're like, well, Flash needs a buddy. We'll give him Cyborg. That'll work. But nonetheless, I'm still very excited for Wonder Woman. I think that since the fact that she's in a war-based movie and she saw tragedy makes me go with, I want that kind of movie to be gritty. So I'm super cool with that. And whatever according
Just
to
not
the, according
depressing.
to, no, I mean I'm cool. I mean Saving Private Ryan is depressing as hell. I
World
mean,
War One, so it might be depressing.
yeah.
Chris Pine will probably not survive.
Well,
That's
I
not
mean, he's
be
gonna.
happy.
He's
Well,
gonna
even
die.
then, he's probably gonna die because
The years.
it's 100 years before Batman v Superman.
But I do. So I was saying, Saving Private
Yeah.
Ryan is a very depressing movie, but it does have some humor moments by some of the characters. I
Yeah.
want that in this movie, but I still want it to be dark and gritty. The other two movies that they announced, one is the Batman movie. We can assure that, guarantee it has to be.
Yeah.
Almost 100%.
One of the dates. They haven't announced which date. It's the
Yeah,
movie, but
I mean,
it's like it's Batman.
it's most likely going to be. I'm not sure how. Ben doesn't have anything right now. He's already finished with the movie that's coming out this year during the Oscar season.
No, it comes out next year, doesn't it?
I thought it was this year. Does
I
Ben?
thought that
I
Live
thought it
by
was
Night
this
or
year,
whatever
too.
it's called comes out 2017.
Oh, I thought it was 2016.
Oh.
Yeah. I thought it was 2016. I might be wrong. But nonetheless, so Ben Affleck has an opportunity to direct one of these. He's already said that he's writing the Batman.
Comes out 2017.
Son of a bitch! Are you serious? Oh.
Nope. I mean, yes, I am serious. It comes out October 20th, 2017.
So why did they say that they moved up the date for that movie? Why even mention that? Doesn't make any sense. All right, I thought so. He's filming that right now. Which by the time he finishes
No, he's
that,
filming Justice League because that starts filming tomorrow.
no, but he's not done with that movie yet, though, is he? Is he done with that movie?
He might be, or he's doing it after Justice League.
No, he was already on set making this movie. I saw pictures of him on set for this movie.
Okay.
I mean,
well,
unless it was
Justice League
just
starts filming tomorrow, so I'm not sure how the schedules work for that.
oh damn. So one of these movies is going to be the Batman movie, and people are speculating that the other one's going to be the Superman movie, and I think Superman's going to be taken on the back burner because people are not. Nobody walked away from BVS going, man, Superman was awesome. Everybody walked around going. The people that did talk about Superman was like, they done fucked him up. They fucked him up some more because he's the worst character in that movie to me, honestly. Besides Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
To be honest,
because nobody,
gives a
Zack
fuck.
Snyder hates Superman.
And it's what I told you, mother f's. I told you
Yeah,
guys.
I mean,
I told you guys.
Real-
He's taking the source
I
material
don't
for
know.
people that hate them. He's taking. I
Yeah.
mentioned it. He's taking the source material of a guy that has flat out said Superman is a stupid character. And in the Dark Knight Returns, Superman is a puppet. In this movie, he's a puppet. It's what it. So
And-
you can't make another movie about a dude that's a puppet. So. I don't know.
and plus the fact that this is this generation Superman is really depressing. There's an article going around. I shared this a couple weeks ago. I don't know if you guys took a look at it, but there's an article that's called "Superman and the Damage Done." A Requiem for an American Icon, and it really goes into detail why this new Superman sucks compared to some of the past versions. Like why?
I mean, no, I agree with that. I think he's well. For as much as you guys hate, for as much as you don't like Max Landis, I mentioned a couple weeks ago. Max Landis said it. This isn't Superman in any sense of the word. He doesn't do anything, and you can take liberties all you want. He does nothing that Superman would do unless he's in the universe of Dark Knight Returns, which he's a puppet. People say that Earth One and all this other stuff. Yeah, he's emo in Earth One. Because I have that book. He's an emo dude, but he talks, he interacts. He's upset because he can't show his powers. That's my problem. Is like people keep saying, "Show me all these stories." I'm like, you're showing me 3 stories in 100-year history of Superman. How long has Superman been around? Like that
Since the 30s.
like 3 or 4 stories where he's a bad guy. The same thing with Batman Kills. He's killed like 3 or 4 times in like 70 years, and that doesn't mean anything to me. So. They also moved back Jungle Book to the following year, and I'm assuming that the praise for this Jungle Book is the reason. That's the one with Kristen Bale and all of them, right? That's the one that has Kristen Bale.
Yeah.
That's the
They
one
say
Andy
it-
Serkis is making.
Okay.
Yeah, they're claiming it's because of they're trying to get the technology just right, which it could be, and I'm fine as long as it still gets made. I'm actually excited for that because of Andy Serkis.
Do you guys? Okay. Besides Andy Serkis, this is dumb, right? Like.
It
The
is.
cast is good. They have
I get that, but,
Benedict
like-
Cumberbatch being Shere Khan. Like the cast for that it's not as good as a Disney version, but the cast
But
is
that's
like,
my
oh
problem,
damn, we
is,
got all
like,
those people to be in it.
We're literally getting the same story.
Well, this one's called
Yeah.
Jungle Book Origins, so who knows?
But this is an origin. This is Mowgli. Like, it's a baby.
Yeah, yeah, and plus
Is
we
it
all
going to be
know
the
how.
origins of Baloo?
As Kate Blanchett. in
The
it.
cast is insane.
And plus, we all know how origins stories work
Oh yeah, from Fox.
when it's not
X-Men
superhero
from
stuff.
Fox.
I'm sure it'll be good.
When it's not superhero stuff,
I'm sure it'll be good, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I would.
it's pointless. I think.
Yeah, I would. I don't know. There's got to be a very interesting story here. I mean, I'm excited for Tarzan, but I don't want to see another Tarzan movie again next year.
Dude, Tarzan looks so hype.
Yeah, it looks really good. So one, we agree one is Batman. What do you guys think the other one's gonna be? Do you think?
I think it's the Man of Steel sequel.
You think so? I don't know.
That Superman sequel's never happening.
There's rumors going around with George Miller, which would be interesting.
He said that he's not interested.
Okay, that's out the window. Then
Like,
Zack Snyder's been saying some things about. Zack Snyder's just been on patrol saying the reasons that he believes that the Superman's the best one and all this other stuff. I'm trying to think of what else they can use here because we have dates for everything else. What would this movie be?
Could be a Green Lantern movie.
But wait, does that have a date yet? That wasn't announced. I thought that was 2020.
Or it's 2020,
Yeah,
so
it's
never
2020.
mind.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm Suicide Squad 2.
Lobo.
Oh, Lobo. Wasn't that supposed to be with
What's
The Rock?
Lobo?
He's a vampire.
No, that's Shazam.
Lobo is like a
Well,
vampire.
they were
wolf.
both supposed to have The Rock.
Well, I think Lobo's. I don't read Lobo. He's either. I think he's a vampire.
I don't know about the character, but
Or a
Lobo
werewolf.
was originally gonna star The Rock and be directed by the guy who did San Andreas.
Yeah.
And then it didn't happen, and they got some new guy to write a script like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, so that could be that date.
I'm gonna tell you right now.
But Warner Brothers also has an untitled WB event film for like August of next year.
I'm gonna tell you right now. If that second date is Lobo, it's a waste of time. Nobody cares.
For
about
next
Lobo.
year?
I'll see whatever.
It's
they do. It could be
2018.
Sandman,
Lobo's
I guess.
28. No wait, it's 2019. It's stupid. If that's a dumb thing, honestly, nobody cares about Lobo. He's a bad guy.
Yeah.
He's Blade. I think he's a vampire. He might be a wolf, a werewolf kind of guy, but he's all white. He's a vampire. He's all white. He has like long hair. He's like a rock star kind of guy. Yeah, so that's what I wanted. That's the last bit of news I wanted to talk about was just the dates, what we thought they were
You
going
don't
to be.
want to talk about how they're changing their entire like release strategy.
Oh, I didn't even know about that.
They said
maybe
because
that
of
wasn't
BVS.
maybe that was what I was reading. I don't know.
Well, yeah, it was the main point, or at least the Hollywood Reporter article that I think going to be a lot of information. The main point was Kevin Sujihara coming out saying that because of BVS not being the success that they want it to be, and it's doing pretty piss poor as of now because the boss beat it, which is embarrassing. But it said that they're going to be basically trying to copy what Disney does business wise, which has all these tentpole films.
But that's not the
So they're-
problem.
so they're-
though. That's the thing.
Trust me, I agree. I'm just saying what
I did
Kevin
hear that.
Sujihara
I think I
said.
saw somebody on Facebook and one of the groups mentioned that, and that's not the problem. But you can continue what you're saying.
Yeah, he said they're going to be focusing on the big budget tentpole films, so Harry Potter, DC Comics, and the Lego films, and then they're going to try to not be making as many
Original.
in-house talent projects
I did see that.
or like mid-level movies like Midnight Special or Creed, which are two of their best films that they came out in the last 3 years. Those are both.
But
Creed
to
is
be
still
fair,
coming. Creed is a franchise. though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Creed is a
Creed 2's
franchise
coming
now
out.
still.
But I'm talking about but it was a mid-level movie. It cost like $40-60 million to make. They're trying to cut out those and only focus on the big like home run.
Yeah, I
films.
did hear that they
Try to make more money because Kevin Sujihara has done such a piss poor job running that company the last 2 years. It's actually ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
because didn't
if
they?
they don't,
Wasn't Crimson
if
Peak them?
Fantastic Beasts is not a hit, he should be fired by the board of advisors.
I mean,
or
they
whatever.
need to fire whoever. They just have to hire a better marketing team. Honestly.
Yeah, all the more reason why they need a Kevin Feige figure for DC. That
But
way,
They had Jeff Johns. Why? This is
did
why
they? Was he really their guy?
But he was like that was the
He's
rumors.
involved.
That was the rumors for a while. People were saying that Jeff Johns was the guy, but then sometime last year he like stepped away or something happened. I remember reading that like he was like people were saying like pushing for him because he is like a DC Comics god. So and he knows the stories. There's no way if Jeff Johns was in charge, he would have approved. Like he wouldn't have approved what they were going for with this. I don't.
He
I
did
mean,
help.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know. He
Affleck
doesn't
make
know
the
movies.
solo
So
film.
he doesn't know movies that well. So I mean, not like he's not a movies guy. So maybe he would have, because in comics, they throw mad shit at you. But yeah, I did hear that they put so much money and time into BVS that the return that they're seeing, they want to kind of just focus on the big budget things and just try to make as much money as possible.
See, I feel like. See, here's the reason why having a Kevin Feige equivalent at DC would work. So that way, like, they don't have to have this strategy now. Like, they could just have their guy focus on. They could just have one guy who's in charge of all the DC stuff. The way you have Kevin Feige in charge of Marvel, and the way you have Kathleen Kennedy in charge of Star Wars and Lucasfilm. So you don't have to make studio-wide decisions.
Yeah, they go across the board. Yeah. Honestly, what they should do, this is just me, my dream scenario, they should call up Joss Whedon. Straight up.
He's not going to accept that job.
But like, it makes sense. He wanted to make Wonder Woman. He's a nerd of, like, he loves DC more than Marvel. Like, he loves them. Like, that's why he wanted to make Wonder Woman. Like, he loves it.
Wasn't his Wonder Woman script bad, though? That's what I read.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. I mean, maybe.
No, I heard it was good, or what I read, stuff I heard about.
I guess
it,
maybe both sides. I have no idea, but like, I
mean,
get
at
it.
this
He
point,
will take the job. I get it, but I'm just, who do you get? Like, who? You have to get somebody that makes sense. Joss Whedon makes sense to me. He knows movies. He's a nerd. Hell, get Kevin Smith. There you go. That'd be weird.
They actually offered Kevin Smith a job like
that was
20 years ago.
That was the Blade times days around. Not Blade.
Early 2000s. They were like, oh, hey, we're thinking of like having like a DC cinematic universe. Would you want to oversee that? And then he said no. And now he's like, why did I not say yes to that gig?
Yeah, but that was a different thing though. They were doing that was a while ago. That was like Batman 98 or 97 or whenever the hell that shit was.
Batman and Robin?
Yeah, whatever the hell that movie was. That was that time period. They were trying to introduce other characters. I remember reading that. I'm just trying to think of who else makes sense, honestly. Because, like, you can't just get a business guy that has nothing to do with comics do it, because that would make no sense. But you can't have, like, a Jeff Johns do it because he doesn't know movies that well. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's tough. Disney lucked out with Feige, honestly. He's a nerd, and he loves movies like crazy.
Right. Well, I mean, it was good that they got that he was already in charge before Disney bought Marvel.
Agree. All right. That's the last bit of news that we have here, guys. We can hop over to Blu-rays now, Alexander. See what we got.
All right. Well, we missed last week, and there's really only one thing that was worth noting last week, which, shit, I guess we'll just get into it right now, which is Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Not really jumping to conclusions there. I did a review for this movie. I've done several reviews for that movie, but I reviewed the Blu-ray a couple days ago. So I don't have much to say about this.
I have a complaint.
Uh-oh.
I didn't know that when you bought the damn digital version, you didn't get the documentary.
You did? Oh, the digital version?
I bought the digital version. Like, when you buy the digital version on iTunes, it gives you like a bunch of options. I just assumed they all included the special features, so I just bought one that was like $9.99 or something like that. I'm like looking forward to watching that damn documentary. It ain't on there, so yay for fucking me, because I really wanted to watch that. I know, but still,
it was an hour long.
You should. Like, my fault. I didn't read the fine print. Whatever, but. I gotta buy the Blu-ray. I mean, it's not like a bad thing to buy the Blu-ray, but I did want to watch the documentary more than the movie, honestly, because I just was curious about it, and I already seen the movie like 3 or 4 times. There's a ton of different. I mean, this is Force Awakens. There's like a ton of shit that you can like different versions.
But there's no commentary track.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just wanted to buy the movie. I didn't really want the features. I'm gonna have to buy it now, just because I want to watch the documentary. I mean, we've praised this movie. It's awesome. It's fun. It is what it is. What you can say?
Yeah.
I have a complaint because I bought the Target exclusive version because it said
Here we go.
that it came with exclusive features, and they're not on the disc. you have to sign up through Disney Movies Anywhere, which I already had an account, but you can only watch them through their streaming service,
Oh,
which
that
is BS
sucks.
already. And it's not even a fucking case. It's like, this looks cool, but it's all just cardboard. It's
Oh,
not an
yeah.
actual, like, tangible, like...
I mean, the best one would have
case.
probably been the Steelbook, honestly, because
Yeah.
I've heard.
I got
I
this
saw
because of
Alexander's.
exclusive content.
I saw Alexander's, and you had a complaint as well with yours. You didn't like the glossiness because it was black, and the
No, I like the glossiness. It's just my issue is that it's easier to see your fingerprints on it.
Yeah, so I'm gotta figure out which one I'm gonna buy because there's a lot of features in there. The deleted scenes there aren't that many, but I want to see the documentary, and literally I was seeing if maybe it was on YouTube or something. I'm like, no, not on YouTube. You gotta actually turn down the Blu-ray. And
Just so, I'm sure it'll be up when Hello Greedo does his video on the deleted scenes.
yeah, but it won't be the documentary though. It'll be the
Well, the deleted scenes will be, but
I
yeah,
wanna
not the
see
doc.
documentary. Yeah, so there's a bunch of different versions of buying this. The movie's fun as hell. I don't think we can really say much else about that. We can move to
Yeah,
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
not
this
much
week this week's awful.
yeah. There's not. I mean,
Ooh,
last week,
that's an awesome ass artwork right here. Holy shit!
for what?
It follows. I'm not gonna lie, that's a sick
Oh,
ass.
yeah.
Oh,
that's
that's
really
That's
cool.
the Steelbook.
No, that's the. Is that a steelbook? I thought that was the
It's
poster.
the Steelbook.
No, I never saw that poster before. It just
Oh,
looks cool.
I've actually seen that poster.
That's really
more
cool.
than I have the one that they usually use. But anyway, this week it's
Oh my god.
pretty meh. But we have Bride of Reanimator, one of those millions of Reanimator movies out there that I've never seen. We have Alfred Hitchcock's Suspicion. I think that's how you pronounce this. Don't
Yeah,
kill me,
it's
people.
Spelled weird.
Yeah, we have from the Criterion Collection. We have Only Angels Have Wings from 1939. We have a 4-movie collection set of American Pie. This is all the theatrical movies, not the bullshit straight-to-video.
Yeah,
Shit.
the American Pie movies that matter.
Well, only one really matters.
I like 2 of them. Yeah, the last one's American one.
Then we have the first movie of 2016, which you know is always going to be good, The Forest.
Horror fans actually had no, this isn't the one.
I heard that it was all right. Though.
Wait, which was it?
Like,
Was it this one or The Boy that horror fans liked?
I don't think any.
remember.
I don't think
I just
either
remember
side.
the
but,
reviews
like,
for
there
this
was-
being like, "Oh, it was okay." Like,
I thought it was The Witch.
No, The Witch got
The Witch
bigger
was
than this.
amazing.
Yeah, no.
Holy
but
shit,
when
the
this
Witch
came
was
out, the
fantastic.
next week came out The Boy, and I remember watching some YouTube reviews and people saying that for a horror fan, it's what you expected in a good way, and for one, it was like it was garbage. And I don't remember if it was this one or the other one.
oh shit, it says a 9% Rotten Tomatoes.
I'm guessing it wasn't this one. It might have
Yeah.
been The Boy, so I don't know.
Well, how much do Dylan? You're on Rotten Tomatoes, are you?
The Boy, what
Yeah,
do we get?
it's loading right now.
Okay. Well, while that's loading, I'll move on to some other picks. We have Heroes Reborn event series on Blu-ray.
Not worth
Not
watching.
the boy.
Oh damn! I don't know what else.
The
I
boy
watched.
is 29.
Okay, I'm not
Although-
surprised.
It's better.
And then
Some movies
the
have
last thing,
100%.
you can tell, ladies and gentlemen, we're just kind of breezing through
There's
this
nothing
because
in
it's
here.
yeah. Around this time of the year, it's kind of dead for Blu-rays. Like usually when fall comes around, that's when things get busy. But the last thing that's really worth mentioning is Justice League versus Teen Titans, which I'm not in the DC animated universe circle the way you guys are, so
They're
you can take
awesome.
it away.
I haven't seen this one. I actually was gonna do this one when I said I don't know what I did, but I mean I'm looking at here. There's a cool ass Justice League versus Teen Titans Best Buy exclusive that brings in the Robin and the trade paperback for the Teen Titans current run, which was not good. This is weird. I don't even know what the premise is of this one because all the Teen
watched
Titans
the
are
trailer.
old. They're all older. They're older.
I watched the trailer, and when I remember, it's like a month ago. But I remember it was like the Justice League gets like possessed and gets
Yeah, I
bad,
saw
goes
that.
bad, and then Teen Titans fight them, and it's cool action, which that's fine with me. It's like 70 minutes.
So I'm just gonna
I
read.
might, I might check it out at Redbox. Be like, oh, I'll spend an hour and like 10 minutes and watch some DC
Oh,
superheroes fight.
here it goes.
Cool.
Okay, so people seem to like this Robin. This is my most annoying Robin. This is Damian Wayne, Batman's son.
Oh.
The dickhead. I'm gonna keep. He's an asshole. It says frustrated and disillusioned about his work alongside the Justice League. Robin is forced into a new position with a younger super team, the Teen Titans. So he becomes their leader. Like Dylan said, something happens to the Justice League members, which force the Teen Titans, which include Beast Boy, Starfire, Blue Beetle, and Nightwing. If I'm Nightwing, I'm like, fuck you, dude. I was the original Robin, bitch. You was not the leader of my crew. Whatever. They have to team up to fight them or figure out what's wrong. I'm sure it's going to have great action scenes, great violence. Don't know about the story right now. The Blu-ray right now on Blu-ray.com is a 2.5 out of 5. Not great. Doesn't have the key voice actors that you would like. We have names. We have Jerry O'Connell, Shamir Moore, who is Dope, the Dope guy, right? I think that's the kid from Dope. Might be wrong. And Rosario Dawson. I don't know.
Oh.
It didn't catch my eye, but I haven't really loved the newest DC stuff. I mean, it's still good, but I haven't I haven't loved the Batman versus Robin or Son of Batman and then this one I might like this one probably as equals to those. The last good one was probably Assault on Arkham. Honestly, like the really good one. Assault on Arkham was actually pretty good. I liked it.
What about like the Justice League films, like Throne of Atlantis and War?
Those are, but I'm talking about like that. That's a couple years. That's like 6 years ago, right?
No, it's not. It was like last year.
Oh, I didn't watch that one. Oh, wait, yeah, I did. No, I don't like that one either. I mean,
Okay.
I didn't hate it. I don't hate any of these. They're all good, but compared to Flashpoint Paradox or any of
Dark Knight Returns.
yeah, those are like great
Really good.
quality stories and everything. Because they also had Batman Bad Blood, or which we talked about, I think, which was
Oh, that was like 2 weeks ago.
yeah, which was the one where Batman disappears and all the Bat family shows up. Those are all okay, but they're not stories that I care about. So I'm assuming this is the same
I think
way.
the Killing Joke will be great though.
Oh my god, I'm so hyped about that. That's like
Yeah,
that's,
as a guy
that's
who's-
the greatest Batman story. Fuck the Dark Knight Returns.
As a guy who's not in the DC animated universe circle, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that and Red Hood is probably the best Batman stories. I'd be happy if either one of those is the the Ben Affleck Batman movie. I'd be cool either way. All right. Anything else we can really talk about? Dear God, this is a really
No,
Next
nothing else.
week
else.
has
Just-
decent stuff. 1, 2, 3.
Well, yeah.
All right, well, I guess we can end it here then. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this was the Movie Backlot Podcast. As always, you guys can check us out. We record every Sunday. Alexander, you have a ton of stuff that you usually put up. You want to promote some of that stuff that you talked about this week?
Yeah, well, again, my YouTube channel, you can find me at The Real Mr. Robinson. I have links to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, Periscope, and Riff.tv. The latter three, which I really want to get back into doing more. But yeah, in terms of videos, I finally took a break from all the Batman videos that I've been doing. So I have reviews up for Everybody Wants Some, the Richard Linklater movie. That's the second time I've accidentally called him David. But yeah, I have a review for that. I have a review for the Star Wars Force Awakens Blu-ray and the trailer for Rogue One. Tuesday, I'm going to keep doing the Arkham Asylum Let's Play. And not much. Oh, last night I was on the Midnight Chat Attack, which is a show run by the fans of Double Toasted, which is sponsored by Double Toasted. So I'm in there for a while. You can check that out, where I just talk about what's going on in the world with a bunch of fellow Toasties. And that's pretty much it for now.
All right. Dylan, anything you want to promote?
Oh yeah, So I put some money down to start a podcast feed. So I'm going to start my podcast
Sweet.
this week. You can check.
Nice.
It's just called the Dylan McKinnon podcast. The first episode should be up tomorrow. I'll also upload the audio to YouTube as well, and there'll be a link to at least Podbean. And I'm going to get on iTunes and Stitcher and other podcasting things throughout the week. Check me out on Twitter at Dylan McKinnon, DYLAN MICKANEN. The podcast will be both about movie and like TV and media news, and also we'll have separate podcasts where we'll talk about like basketball because I adore basketball. I'll have some few other friends of mine as well on that. So that should be fun. You can pick whatever topics you want to listen to.
Sweet. For me, what do I have this week? So I've been doing a lot of wrestling stuff because I'm like a huge wrestling fan. So I've been putting up a lot more wrestling stuff. And when I mean I put one video up a week of wrestling, except for last week, which was WrestleMania. But this week I will do that again. Just talking about Raw. I have a Batman top 10, which I mentioned like 2 weeks ago that I was working on. I'm still working on that. I have to edit it now. I have all the audio stuff for that. That'll probably be out this week as well as a zombie top 10 zombie movies thing that I was working as well. Not sure what days they're going to come out, but they will be out this week. But all right, pretty much if you guys want to check us out, Movie Backlot Podcast. If you're watching us on YouTube, these guys' Twitter is on the screen. Check out their channels. Check out iTunes, Movie Backlot Podcast, all that other good stuff. And we'll be back next week to talk movies. See ya.
Adios.
Bye.